What's up and welcome back to another video. I'm Bandit Barney, bringing you everything you need to know about Red Dead Online. And with Christmas just passing, there's probably a lot of us out there that are just getting Red Dead Redemption 2 and are diving into all of its glory and all of its joy. So today's video, we're going to give 10 tips to the people that are just starting out. Now, if you clicked on this video and you're an experienced player, I'd love for you to also leave some information, other pointers, anything that I just didn't think of. Leave it in the comments below. And then if you're someone that's new to it, go ahead and surf down there, because oftentimes people in the comments will lend very helpful tips. And you know, it's my opinion that with a game like this, the best way for it to grow over time, get as many people into it as possible. And if we can make your experience diving in as a newbie more fun, then we would have accomplished our goal. So these are 10 tips to help you out if you're a beginner. First thing I want to start out with is that dive into the campaign. If you just got the game, don't go online, dive into the campaign. You'll be stuck there for at least a few days if you binge play the game, or even a few weeks if you just play it out at your leisure. The campaign is amazing. The first 5 chapters are some of the best storytelling and experience in a game I've ever had. So make sure you dive into the campaign before you go right in to the online. Eventually though, you're gonna be ready for the online, and once you get there, there's 3 main things that you're going to be looking at: XP, gold, and money. You're going to be acquiring these over time as you go throughout the game. So I want to dive in individually and just give you some quick pointers on what are going to be the best ways of earning these, and kind of help out the new people out there, because those of us that have been playing for a while have probably gotten gifts from Rockstar. They gave us up to 30 gold bars depending on how long we've been playing, and some of us got up to, you know, like $1,500, or maybe it was $1,200 from Rockstar. So if you just started since Christmas, you're not going to be getting any of those gifts. You're going to be starting out brand spanking new, and it's going to be very important on how you can earn that gold, that money, and that experience. Let's dive into experience first, and the best way to get it. There are ways where you can jump in with other players online, party up as a posse, and complete campaign missions. But if you play solo often, or if you want a really grind experience, the most effective way of doing it by yourself, well, there's a few of them. There's one in Saint Denis, there's one in Blackwater, and it's farming the NPC cops as they roll out, getting a wanted level and farming them. Now, I'm not going to dive into every method because there's a little more in-depth in videos we've done before. I'll link them down below in the description. So if you want to learn how to get that XP specifically to each location, we've tested out a few different locations. We have multiple guides on that on the channel, and we'll link them down below so you can dive in for that. Next though, let's talk about gold. And gold is something that's going to be very, very useful to you as a player, and it's also Rockstar's microtransactions. Now, a lot of players aren't into spending money on the game since it's already a $60 game. They don't want to end up spending more money, and this is the majority of players. The majority of players aren't going to spend money on microtransactions if that you're in that group. You don't want to spend a little of that Christmas cash on gold. Then the best way of earning gold, and it hurts, is by playing the campaign through, getting to like level 10, and then deleting your character and starting over again. Now, you lose all your experience using this method. It's not the chosen method of many, but I'm just telling you the best way. The best way to earn gold is to play through the storyline, and all that gold and money you earn through the storyline will be saved over, and when you create the new character. It's monotonous. You play through this campaign over and over. You have to watch all the cutscenes. It's not a fun way of doing it. It's the best way of doing it. It's not a fun way of doing it. If you're going to go the other route, the best way of earning gold is through treasure maps, and you're going to get one of those every 5 levels you earn. Now, a treasure map will get you anywhere between 0.2 and 0.8 gold, all right? And you're going to obviously get them by doing the XP grinds, because the other way of getting treasure maps is from finding them off gang hideout bosses and members, and we tested that. It's just a terrible way of getting treasure maps. I think I tried it for like 8 hours, maybe upwards of 12 hours, and we got 1 treasure map from that. So it's not a worthwhile method. Outside of leveling up, you can get gold from playing the Showdown series as well. But let's dive into cash and what's the best way of earning cash. Currently, the best way of getting that money is by fishing for it. Now, there's two methods that I love to rotate in between, which are both outside Blackwater. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself a river lure, and you're gonna take that, or lake lure, I'm sorry. You're gonna take that lake lure, throw it in the water, and you're gonna catch sturgeon, turn them in to the butcher at Blackwater, and then once you do that for about 10 minutes, you're gonna rotate north up to the river, and there's a fishing method that you use a carcass for. You get a deer carcass and you place it in these two locations on the riverbed, and as fish get attracted to the carcass, they'll swim over shallow enough water that they just die, and you go over and pick them up. Super effective method, and when you rotate between both of them, it works out really well. Now, noting I did this method like 4 days ago of fishing in Blackwater, right? And I got upwards of like $70 every 10 minutes. The best money-making method in the game by far. Since then, I've tried it again 2 times for videos and content, and it hasn't worked nearly as well. Now, I'm not sure if this is just because I'm not getting the right spot and doing it well or what, but maybe the spot's already being used up by someone else, but it hasn't worked out. I don't know if Rockstar put a hot patch on it, a hot fix. It just hasn't worked out so well. The carcass method still works out very well, and I love its location in Blackwater. Those are going to be the best ways of earning money, just as far as grinding money out and getting it. Those are the 3 big things out of the way. Now we're going to dive into things that are just going to make your experience much more fun within the game and enjoyable, and some little tips here and there that are going to give you an edge throughout your online Red Dead Redemption 2 experience. The first thing I implore you to do when you finish the story of the online is get your offhand holster. Naturally, you don't have an offhand holster in the online mode, and you only unlock it at level 25. But you can take the 3 gold bars you earned from the story early on, take those to the gunsmith, go to accessories, and then click on an offhand holster so you can view it in the dressing room. Once you do that, if you hold down left trigger, you'll see that there's a value amount you can buy this holster with gold bars. And you can buy this holster before you actually unlock it if you spend gold on it. So spend gold on getting that holster right away, because then you can have 2 revolvers, just making yourself more effective at an early level. If you wait till level 25 and buy it with cash, that's one way to do it. But I truly think there's not a lot of things to spend gold on right now in game, and this is one of the best ones. Buying an offhand holster, getting 2 revolvers on your character as soon as possible. Griefing. You will quickly find out as you're hunting, traveling around, going through cities in Red Dead Redemption 2 Online that you will be getting griefed. There's one really good method of preventing griefers from attacking you, and it's more so a method that puts you in a lobby where you're away from most of the players, so the chances of you getting griefed aren't very high. In order to do this method, it's very common. I talk about it a lot on the channel. You go to online in your start menu and load into a region that's away from where you want to be. Let's say you're going to do the earning money making method, and you're going to be fishing in Blackwater. So load into Lemoyne, go to a fast travel station, and fast travel to Blackwater. The specific way I like to do it is when I load in, I check the map. If most of the players are on one side and Blackwater's all opened up, then I'll say, all right, this is a good lobby to do this, and I'll go fast travel to Blackwater. Sometimes you'll load into a lobby and you pull out the map, and sometimes there's a few players over by where you want to be. In that case, just redo it, load back into Lemoyne or wherever you're doing, and then check again. Is it safe? Dive over with the fast travel. This costs you a few bucks here and there, but specifically if you're going to go be farming XP or farming for money, you're going to be in the same area for probably 30 minutes to an hour at a time, and you want to make sure that there's no one else there to possibly grief you. It really hurts the momentum you get in earning money and in earning XP if you have to reset and re-get the wanted level, or if you lose your fish while you're fishing because someone's shooting you and taking your spot. So it's really smart loading into a region away from where you want to play and then fast traveling to the location you're going to be at. Number 7 is the PvP side of the game and the Showdown series, race series side of the game. Now, I have a strong opinion in this area, but before I dive into that, I want to say this is one of the best methods of earning gold in game. The only other consistent method that earns you more gold is the treasure maps, but treasure maps come every 5 levels, and you can dive from showdown series to showdown series, from match to match, as much as you want. Now, I'm gonna put out there, and this is my opinion, guys. I know it can be, you can get backlash when you speak poorly on an aspect of a game and you make a video about it, but I do not enjoy the PvP side of the game. The matchmaking itself is clunky. You can get put into lobbies where you just have to watch this knife battle royale. Specifically, when I was getting the content for this video, I had to watch a knife battle royale, and then I got thrown into a knife battle royale, which just involves running around for 8 minutes, avoiding people until the 1v1 comes up, and then hoping that you're the better player at the end of the day. I know that there are players out there that really enjoy the showdown series and stuff like that. It's a great way of earning money, experience, and all the 3 things you want gold in one at one time. It's a great way of doing that. I don't personally enjoy the PvP. The mechanics for the player versus player fighting, if you like player versus player, in my opinion, there's games that just do it better than Rockstar does their matchmaking. The matchmaking's slow, and it's just like an uncomfortable experience matchmaking. And then when you do get in the game, it feels like the mechanics of getting cover and fighting back are just kind of clunky. These are things that help the immersion in other areas of the game when you're out hunting animals and whatnot, and having to cock the bolt on your gun and everything. But when it comes to player versus player fighting in that matchmaking mode and not in the free roam world, it just doesn't feel as good as it could. And if that's what's attracting you, I think there's other games that do it better. That's my 2 cents on it. I know some of you don't have that opinion. That's my 2 cents on it. The PvP is a great way of earning all 3, money, XP, and gold, all at the same time, but it's not a great way of enjoying yourself, in my opinion. Number 8 is horse insurance. And when the game first released, horse insurance cost you 5 gold, and it was totally not worth it. Now it's $125, and it's more worth it, but it's still kind of expensive when you're just starting out. Once you get a few money grinds in you and a few sessions where you're just getting that money, it won't be a problem for you to go get that horse insurance. But when you, in the meantime, it's not super necessary, okay? It really isn't super necessary. There's a way you can get Horse Survivor for free. We'll dive into that in a second. It's one of our other tips. But in the beginning, your horse isn't gonna be dying often. And when it does, if you aren't able to revive it with Horse Survivor, you can just heal it in your player menu. And it costs about $4 to $7 each time. So comparative to the $125 you'd spend on horse insurance, which basically what that does is anytime your horse gets injured to the point that they're gonna die, they just automatically start regenerating health, and you never have to use Horse Survivor, and you never have to heal your horse through the player menu, which can be useful. But when you think about it, if another player kills your horse, which is what's gonna kill your horse most of the time, they just have to pay for the vet, and you don't have to spend any money. Your horse comes back to you. If you are falling off ledges and cliffs, maybe this is something that's more important for you. But most of the time, your horse isn't going to get critically injured unless it's by another player, in which case they're going to be paying the vet bill. Just the same way it worked in GTA Online is how it works in this game. So I'd skip out on that horse insurance until you got so much money that you're just like, you know what, whatever, $125, a little convenience here doesn't hurt. We'll go for it. That's my 2 cents on that one. Number 9 is looting houses for items rather than purchasing them. Especially when you start out the game, you want to have these different healing tonics and whatnot, and Horse Survivor if you're not getting horse insurance. And so looting for those items rather than spending money on them is the best way to do that. There's a welcome center in Strawberry where you can go in and loot the place, and you get miracle tonics, you get cigars, moonshine, guarma rum, you get crackers, you get Horse Survivor, all of these things from just looting this. And all you need to do is go in, loot it, reload free roam, and you'll be in the general area of that house. You go back, loot it again. There's multiple locations around the map where you can do this. This is one of my favorites, the Welcome Center, because you get so many quality things. You get that horse survivor, which is helpful if you don't have a horse insurance yet, and it's really nice to just have these items on hand. They cost a buttload if you're purchasing them in the general store, because $2, horse survivor is like $9, adds up here and there. So don't spend your money on that stuff, just go loot it. I like the Welcome Center in Strawberry. Super good place to do this. I'm sure in the comments down below people are going to comment other locations that are very helpful for this looting technique as well. But when you start out, don't spend money on your stuff, just go loot it in the houses. And that brings us to 10, which is what's the best way to enjoy the game? And this is my opinion. I'd love to see what you guys have to say down below, because everyone has their little niche about it. Some people like it for the PvP, some people like it for the hunting and the free roam. My personal favorite way to play the game, and where I get the most enjoyment and excitement out of it, is by playing with other people. And you don't even need to have friends to play the game with, but even if you just hop on comms in game, and I've done this a few times and had a blast. You will meet a lot of griefers this way, but you can get some really funny scenarios. I've hopped on comms and I've jumped down and I say, hey, what's up everyone? I think we need to meet in the bar, and just it's been a long day, so let's go have a drink, right? And you get like 6 players in the bar, the saloon, and you're all having drinks and a fight breaks out and whatnot. Or you meet in the center of town and you challenge some players to fist fights, and you say, hey, let's fist fight only, no guns or lassos or knives, let's just go in there and fist fight. And it's so much fun to just experience these moments. And when you start like a fist fight in the center of town, you get more and more people that are coming and interested, and you all of a sudden it turns into the King of the Hill fist fight battle royale. It's just so much fun to play this game, and the way that you can do the open mic, there's so much opportunity for just having a blast and posseing up and creating your posse and joining and playing with other players. Unfortunately, right now in this game state, the 3 things that you want to collect in game, money, XP, and gold, are all done better by yourself. Those are all the methods for earning those things are done best when you do them alone. But when you're going to just enjoy the game, posse up, jump in comms, and create that experience that only the Red Dead Online can give you, where you jump down to a bar, or you have a fist fight battle royale, or things like this. You will run into griefers. Just load into a new lobby. You can get a solid hour or 2 each night of fun out of this, just finding the right lobby and hooking up with those players. It's like a new experience every time. Those are our 10 tips for you for beginners. Now, once again, guys, really appreciate it if you're an experienced player. Drop your info, tips, and what you can down below in the comments. This game is massive, and the world is so detailed. It's so much fun. You will feel like you're running out of things to do in the online, so enjoy the campaign and really enjoy the online for what it is. We're only in beta. Rockstar is going to put more into the game, but for you that has been playing since release of the beta, what do you think are the best ways to go about the game, and some tips that you have for someone who's just jumping on the game? Guys, we're so glad to have you and really appreciate the support you're showing the channel. Looking forward to bringing you guys the best content we can every single day, every single week. Really appreciate you. Hope to see you in a future video, and until then, take care.